Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a night of excitement. Again, it's my third night in a row doing these podcasts on the Triple B Experience, and tonight this is the Triple B Black and Gold edition, where we're going to review the big, huge Cleveland game this Sunday night. This Sunday night at 1 p.m. Sunday during the day, so it's not Sunday night. But I also want to get out a big shout out to Mav and Cable last night. We did our year-round extravaganza award on the unscripted on the Triple B Experience, and everybody that tuned in last night, thank you so much. That was one of the most popular viewed shows that we had in a long time, and especially on the first time. So I want to take a shout out for those two guys, Cable and Mav, and I want to shout out to everybody that watched last night. You can still see the replay. You can get on YouTube and, hit the link, comment, and subscribe to the Triple B Experience. Now, everybody, this is going to be the last regular season review for the Steelers, because I believe God is on our side. I believe everything. Well, we're going to have a review in the playoff game next week. I do believe that, and it's a little bit more than what we thought about 4 months ago, because nobody's seen this coming. Realistically, let's be real here. Changes were made, quarterbacks were made and changed, and that's good. But our playoff hopes are alive Sunday at 1 o'clock with all these teams playing at 1 o'clock. So we have to, and I'm going to get into the playoff scenario here very, very shortly. But the Steelers are 8-8 with that huge win, that comeback victory in Baltimore, beating the Ravens on the arm of Kenny Pickett with a minute to go. And now that's an NFL record because he had 2 weeks of that. That'll never be done for a long, long time, just because it's a time with a minute to go, a little over a minute to go in a game with the winning touchdown. So everybody tune in, tune on. Hey, Shane. That's right. There is a chance. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's Friday night, and this is a Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty podcast show. So the Cleveland Browns are 7-9. Our Pittsburgh Steelers are 8-8. So, and the Browns want to spoil this game. They want to be the spoiler and send the Steelers packing just by beating them. Not worrying about the other game scenarios. The Cleveland Browns want to come into Pittsburgh and beat our Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. The last 5 games, the Steelers are 2-3 against the dirty, dirty Dogs of Cleveland. And that the Steelers' all-time record, they lead the series 79-62-1, and I remember that one was a tie against them to open the season a couple years ago. But the Steelers are on a 3-game winning streak and could be in the playoffs with a win over the Cleveland Browns. Because the last matchup, the Pittsburgh Steelers lost 17-29. Hey, Booth, thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty review of the big, huge Sunday 1 o'clock Cleveland game. Yeah, that game there was very, very bad. Jacob Brissett looked like he was a superstar at a Pro Bowl game. What's up, Boothie? And the Browns outrushed the Steelers. They had 171 yards against us, and our run defense was very, very bad. And also, there was no TJ Watt in that game. Just reminding you people how things were at that time when we were not very, very good in the first half of the season. I wasn't ready to jump off a cliff or anything, but I was not happy. Yes, I did see Clowney is out. He's not out. He just doesn't even want to play. I think he's fed up with the system, so he just they told him to stay home, which is good for us. I'll take it. I'll take that. So, and actually, this will be the first appearance in a Cleveland uniform in Pittsburgh of the Predator, Deshaun Watson. So maybe he's going to go down to Liberty Saturday night before he goes. Or cheerleaders, one or the other. I don't know. But this will be his first taste in a Cleveland uniform against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, and TJ Watt, like I said, did not play the last game. And this game, and the quarterback we had was Mitch Trubisky in that game against Cleveland, and he only threw for 207 yards because he was under the thumb of Matt Canada's offense at that time, and he had no touchdowns. So it's definitely an upgrade with Kenny Pickett being our quarterback, guys. I mean, that's just, what are you laughing for? That's the key. The upgrade of quarterback, the quarterbacking. I thought Mitch would come in, maybe get comeback player of the year. That didn't work. 12-5 didn't work. But getting into the playoffs will work at about 4:00 when we beat Cleveland, and the Jets with Joe Flacco beat the Dolphins. Casey, what's up, Casey Rocky? How you doing up there in State College? Thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black Gold Dynasty. If you have any Steeler questions, pop them in on social media, and I will tell the world. Thanks for tuning in. The Steelers, is it Predator Watson? Yeah, he is. Steelers, 1 p.m., Askew Shore Stadium. It's on CBS or Paramount Plus if you get the live situation. That's $9.99 because they get you for the live. Paramount Plus is $5 without the live. I happen to have the live. I have a lot of stuff streaming at my house. Okay, it's supposed to be cloudy. 36 degrees come Sunday. So the Steelers are favored 2.5 points. So I'm hoping to get my debit card back since the terrorist hacked into my account, so I can get into FanDuel and start ching. You know, I don't want to do too much, but I think I have some football knowledge that could. I got a wedding to fund, people, so I'm going to start football gambling a little late in the season. So I just want to say that Cam Hayward is a sack and a half to reach double digits second consecutive year. So hopefully I hope a lot of Steelers get some sacks on Deshaun Watson and just don't give him a touchy-feely kind of reach around, if you know what I'm saying. I know that was stupid. I know. Okay, let's get to some team statistics. The points per game. The Cleveland Browns are 21.7, where the Steelers, with that great, awesome offensive coordinating of Matt Canada, oh, he's fucking so awesome. It's 17.5. And I hate to say this, guys, but we get into the playoffs, Matt Canada probably won't go nowhere. But I believe Kenny Pickett might have a decision on our offensive coordinator. Hey, Kenny, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty Show. Now, yards per game is 35.17 Browns. 321.9 the Steelers, and that's because, we've been running the ball the last couple games. Last 3 or 4 weeks, we've been running the ball hard, so we got that average up. Poor play. I think we need to open up a little bit more come Sunday. Hopefully, Matt Canada is not messed up there, and he can call some plays and let Kenny light him up. Travis, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Now, opponents per game, the Cleveland Browns are 22.1. Now, in this statistic, the Steelers is actually, 20.8. Probably with TJ Watt coming back, I'm going to guess. And that's what I'm guessing. I don't know how one man can turn the tide, but he is one. I had never seen anything. Even in life, sports, whatever, I've never seen that before until this year, where one man can turn the tide. Now, the Steelers need to beat the Cleveland Browns to give Tomlin a winning season, because none of them want to be the first team ever in Steeler history under Mike Tomlin to give him a losing record. And I don't want to see that now either. I don't. It's so about the draft order and all that stuff. There's some good players there. People are like, no, botch the season. No, I don't want to see that either. I'm glad I didn't. They came back in the second half of the season, and they've been doing fine. We beat the Ravens. We beat a team that had a winning record last week. We beat them down there. That was good. So, also, too, Minkah Fitzpatrick was named the Steelers MVP today. I get this information because it's Friday, because a couple days. But also, too, he broke TJ Watt's 3-year title reign of being a Steeler MVP, which was voted on by his teammates. Mika's had a great year. He's going to the Pro Bowl. I know he's banged up a little bit. He's a little questionable for Sunday, but I think they'll play him. I think he's going to play. I think everybody's going to play that can actually suit up and play. When I get to the injury report, there's a couple people of the Steelers that are out. So let's get to the big, huge playoff situation after we kick the Cleveland Browns' ass. Now, all the games are at 1 o'clock. So by 4 o'clock, we're going to know. We're not going to be in disarray. I know they had to decide. They canceled the Buffalo Bills Cincinnati game. And I don't know all the speculation stuff on that. Benjamin, thanks for tuning in. I guarantee you're going to give me a Steeler prognostication and let us know. I know you'll do it, Benjamin. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Not much, just talking Steeler football, Benjamin, like I always do, on the only Steeler podcast going today that talks to you guys, the fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers, with your color commentating and your comments on my social media that I bring it here to the podcast show. No other podcast, Steeler podcast, does this. Not a one. This is more passionate, more energetic, and more vibrant than a lot of Steeler podcasts. And I listen to a lot of them. So some of them just don't have the magical powers that I have, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, the Steelers need help by the Jets beating the Dolphins with Joe Flacco. Jets defense is a little better. I think the Dolphins are going in with a third-string quarterback. I'm taking the Jets, of course. I hate the Jets. I hate the Dolphins, but I'm taking the Jets. Now, the Bills, they're going to be playing the Patriots. Like I said, they're not going to reschedule that Cincinnati game from that tragic situation that happened Monday, and I think he's off the ventilator, and he's breathing now, so God bless him on that. The Bills are going to be beating the living bejesus out of the Patriots. I tell you what, they got something to play for, and I wouldn't want to play them this week. But also, too, we got to have the Bills beat the Patriots, the Jets beat the Dolphins, and we have to do our own business beating the Cleveland Browns. Benjamin says the Steelers are going to win against the Browns 35-21. God bless you, Benjamin. I don't know what you're smoking, but God bless you. Like I always say, the Steelers haven't scored 35 points all season, but God bless you. Smoke one if you got them, Benjamin. I hope you're always right with these great predictions that you do. 35-21. What? 4 touchdowns by Kenny Pickett. Hey, I've seen worse things in life. Plus, I used to date some worse things in life too. But anyway, let's go. Let's move on. Okay, the Browns stats. Because they had Jacob Brissett being quarterback. Now, I'm just going to give you a couple of stats of Jacob Brissett in case he gets knocked the fuck out of the game, which Deshaun Watson gets knocked the fuck out of the game, and Brissett has to come in. But Brissett played good against us last time. Travis says the Steelers will win 28-13. I like that. So Brissett has he threw for 2,608 yards. He had 12 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Now, Mr. Massage Parlor guy himself, Deshaun Watson, Mr. Happy Ending got he is 80 for 141. He has had 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he rushed for 131 yards and 1 touchdown. That's what I'm a little bit scared of him running out of the backfield. Newport cigarettes are good. Yeah, I guess they are, brother. I don't know. I don't smoke. Okay, so running back Nick Chubbs. He's a baller, and he gives the Steelers some trouble, and he gave Steelers some trouble in the last game. Nick Chubbs has 290 carries. He has 1,448 yards, 12 touchdowns, 22 receptions, and 194 yards receiving out of the backfield. Ooh, the run defense of the Steelers. I'm going to get into that momentarily. Running back Nick Chubbs. I already said that. Nick Chubbs. Okay. Running back Kareem Hunt. 119 carries, 455 yards, 3 touchdowns, 32 receptions, 195 yards and 1 touchdown. And Kareem Hunt is not happy being a Cleveland Brown. He wasn't happy all year, and I don't know if he'll be a Cleveland Brown after this year. I don't know if his contract, what's his contract is or nothing. I don't know, because I honestly don't give a rat's ass about Cleveland Brown players, because I don't like the state. The only thing good about Ohio is Canton Football Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hey, Sean, how you doing? So now receiver Ahmed Cooper, former Dallas Cowboys, now he's lighting them up in Cleveland. He has 76 receptions, 1,109 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He's going to be a target. He's going to be a force come Sunday afternoon in Pittsburgh. Receiver Donovan People-Jones. He has 59 receptions, 797 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was getting in some plays the last game. He was catching some passes. Hey, Skin, how you doing, brother? And tight end. Now, this guy was lighting us up at the last game. Him and Brissett were like, playing backyard football. David Njoku, 54 receptions, 586 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, we can't cover the tight ends, and we need to cover the tight ends come Sunday. We need to. We have a problem with covering the tight ends, and we have Devin Bush, who actually will probably get about no plays or maybe 3 plays because his career as a Pittsburgh Steeler, Robert Spillane and Marcus Robinson will be probably your starting linebackers come Sunday because Miles Jack has a groin injury. I don't know, but it's not looking good for Miles Jack. So now the Browns are 3-2 under Watson since he became a starter. 3-2. Now let's get to that defense because I know Booth talked about Clowney. Clowney's gone. He didn't like how the Browns treated him, so he took his ball and went home. They don't want hostages. They want people to play. That's what Myles Garrett said. And Myles Garrett, getting to Myles Garrett right now. Myles Garrett has 15 sacks, guys. But this is a big but. I was at that Cleveland Steeler game Monday night, Ben's last game, regular season at home. Dan Moore shut out Myles Garrett, and Dan Moore has to play his best game of the season. That's right. Let me say this one more time. Dan Moore has to play the best game of his life Sunday, best game of the season. I didn't recite that word for word, but it's pretty damn close. So if Dan Moore could play like he played against Garrett last year, that's what we have to count on. You have to count on that. And strong safety Grant DePitt, 4 INTs. Free safety John Johnson leads the team in tackles with 68. Okay, they got nothing to play for besides spoiling or trying to get to the playoffs. That's all his defense because Myles Garrett was talking trash and he was talking shit, and that's what they want to do. They want to spoil the Steelers' win and ruin their season and give them a losing season. Hey, Lou, how you doing? Welcome to the Triple B Black Gold Dynasty Show. Okay, let's get to this situation. Let's get to the injury report. Now, the Browns' offensive tackle, Jack Calkin, is out. That could help the Steelers' defense with TJ Watt on that side. They're going to have a rookie, I believe. TJ Watt will eat him up for fucking breakfast. TJ's starting to get a little better, so he's probably at 92. He's at 92.3. 92.3 to fan, ready to play. He's not at 100%, but he has that thing off his arm like the Ultimate Warrior. He's not there. He's ready to go. TJ Watt is, I believe, 3 sacks away from Thye and James Harrison as the all-time Steelers sack leader. And definitely next year he's going to blow it right out of the water. So, okay, defensive end, Isaiah Thomas, out. Now, and Boothie, when he said something about Clowney, I said got sent home, so he's not even there. Hey, Freight Train, thank you so much. Freight Train from Steelers Realm Podcast and Off the Rails is here in the Facebook green room here. And all is well, Freight Train, waiting for Sunday at 1 o'clock, waiting for us to kick this Cleveland Browns' ass, waiting for the Jets with Joe Flacco to throw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, and waiting for the Buffalo Bills to beat the New England Patriots 35-7, and we are in the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for. Travis says TJ Watt has 4 sacks Sunday, and Fitzpatrick has 2 picks. I'll take it. Well, like I said, if Deshaun's out at Liberty and at cheerleaders, we'll be good to go. We'll definitely be good to go. Now, there is some unspecific situations with some Cleveland players when I looked up the injury report today, because I like to look it up game day, well, on Fridays, because that's when it really comes out. But Ahmed Cooper and Myles Garrett didn't practice today because Garrett was probably running his mouth. Maybe he got tired. Maybe he got lockjaw and he didn't practice. And Denzel Ward is questionable for Sunday's game. So, hey, I hope Myles Garrett don't play. Fuck him. I hope he don't play. Now, the Steelers injury report is not as bad. I mean, there's some bumps and bruises. There's some people hurt. Freight Train says if Buffalo plays any starters, we will find out. We will find out after KC plays tomorrow. Well, I think they should play. I think they will play the starters because I think everybody wants to play. You know, because then you haven't played for 2 weeks. Buffalo starters haven't played. They didn't play last week hardly. They played a quarter. They didn't play this week. If they sit down, and then they'll be 3 weeks. 3 weeks of not playing longer than maybe 2 series. I would play him Sunday. It doesn't. I just see everybody on the Buffalo Bills wanting to play against the Patriots. Who doesn't want to beat the Patriots? You know, that's why I think so. I don't know. But Fitzpatrick was questionable, like I said before that. And Miles Jack still has that groin injury. Like I said, this could be the last regular season sighting of Devin Bush, which is probably a lot more sightings than I saw of Brian Burns because I can't get a hold of him to get him on this show. Because I'm doing college football and he's the college football guru. Yeah, I wanted to beat the Patriots so bad and we wouldn't be in this predicament today. If we'd have beat the Patriots, if we do our own business and not worry about everybody else as we've done the last 3 years, we wouldn't have to be in this predicament. We wouldn't have to worry about everybody else. I hear you, Freight Train. I'm like that. I'd rather handle my own business and not worry about everybody else's shit. I just want to get it done. The Steelers would have got their stuff done. We wouldn't have to be worrying about it. We wouldn't have to be worried about Joe Flacco. That's just how it is. Travis, I really think the Bills are going to go to a Super Bowl this year and maybe win it all. Travis, what fucking podcast are you on, Travis? I mean, come on, Travis. You're on a Steeler podcast. I honestly don't think if we get in the playoffs, brother, you never know. We're going to have to play Buffalo if we get in. I know it's crazy and it sounds like that, but now I'm getting a little animated. I don't want us to go in. I'll never take us like, if we go into the playoffs, like, oh God, we're going to lose. No, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. All men on deck, ready to rock and roll. We went into Kansas City last year. TJ Watt scored that touchdown. I thought it was the second coming of Jesus Christ. Like, I was ready. I was going, but then the sales let out. But I understand that, but I'll go in every playoff game taking the Steelers. I'll be honest with you, Travis. If the Steelers aren't in the playoffs, I don't care who wins, to be honest with you. I really don't. Like, as long as it ain't the New England Patriots winning the Super Bowl, I'm okay. I really don't care. I don't have like a second-tier team. I used to like the Chicago Bears back in the day. I did. I liked Chicago Bears in the 80s. I did. But now, you know, it was all Steelers all my life because my grandfather was a season ticket holder since 1971. Shane says, Buffalo is my favorite Tecmo Bowl team, although the Kansas City was tough with Christian Okoye. If we go in, we have a chance to win. Yes, I agree, Travis. I believe if the Steelers get into the playoffs, we will be very dangerous because we're looking at 6, 8, 7, and 9, having after the break, after the bye, the break, and coming in like that. Like we look, you got to beat the opponents. Look, you don't know what schedule you're going to get. You don't know who you're going to play, so you just got to go out and beat them, whether they're shitty or whether they're good. The only 2 games I believe, guys, that the Steelers totally lost was the Buffalo Bills. They were outgunned. They were outgunned when Allen threw that 97-yard touchdown. And the Philadelphia Eagles. And now the Eagles are not as good as they were when they played us, I don't think. And Kenny Pickett has matured so much. And also, getting Kenny into a playoff situation will just add experience more. And who would ever thought that the rookie would get us into the playoffs. Nobody thought that. James Gaston, thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Kenny Danger Pickett. I like that, Shane. I like that. So, my 3 keys to the Steelers beating the Cleveland Browns and then finding out by a phone call on the field or scoreboards. They're going to be watching the scoreboards, guys. They will. They're going to be watching the scoreboards for the Jets and Dolphins game and the Buffalo Bills Patriots game. They will doing that. Hey, Chris Ward, thanks for tuning in from lovely down south to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Now, the 3 keys to victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 1, this is just my opinion. You guys can throw your opinions on here, and I'll read them off to everybody because we are the only Steeler podcast that interacts socially on social media with our fans. That's how I do it. Better coverage against the tight end because David Noki, Kamoki, whatever the fuck his name is, got some good passes against us, and we cannot cover the tight end. We're terrible at covering the tight end. We need to fix that. Hopefully sometime before I die would be great. So we shut down him. We cover him. I'm happy with that if we cover him. My second thing, like I talked about before, is going to ride on the tackle of Dan Moore, making Myles Garrett not in the face of Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has to be clean, upright, and be able to get us passes off. So Dan Moore has to play the best game of the year to stop Myles Garrett from destructing that offensive line, which this offensive line, guys, is the only offensive line that has played together the whole entire season. And going into this season, the offensive line was dismal, was putrid, and I thought that was going to be the worst part of the Steelers going forward this year, and that is not the case. I got to eat crow sometimes. I can and I will. The Steelers' offensive line has been the best product all season long, maturing up from a D+ to a C-, moving up. I give them a high B right now. They're not going to get an A. Okay, but they are the best unit on that Steelers offense. That's my opinion. Look what's going on with Najee Harris running like a demon now. He's gonna break. Najee's got to break 1,000 yards. He's very close. I think he's like 40 yards away, I believe. And the Cleveland Browns didn't see Najee running like he was doing, and they didn't see Jaylen Warren either doing what he's doing. So right there, that 1-2 punch is going to mess Cleveland up, especially with Clowney not being in there, because Clowney and Garrett on the line, that's something. So, but like I said, Dan Moore has to have the game of his life and keep Kenny clean and keep Myles Garrett from making anything inside the pocket, any type of destruction that he can with 15 sacks. That's my second one. But my third one is the Steelers keep running the ball. Keep running the ball. And also, I'm hoping that if they get the ball in the coin toss, they get the ball, they score a touchdown. Matt Canada has to open up his offensive plays. Let Kenny air it out a little bit more. But also, too, guys, if they're running the ball that the way they've been doing the last month and a half, just keep pounding the football, and then we will break the Cleveland Browns' back. Freight trains start and ends with containing Nick Chubb on defense, arguably the best running back in the NFL. True, but look what they did to Jacobs of the Raiders. Now, the Raiders in Cleveland, to me, they're about the same. I think the Raiders have better offense than Cleveland. So, but look at that. Look at that. That was a game that Cam Hayward was possessed. This game here, the defensive line of the Steelers have to be possessed. TJ Watt has to have a huge game. I believe TJ Watt will have a huge game and keep the Predator, the massage parlor guy, out from the pocket and make sure he doesn't run around. And make sure he doesn't light him up with Cooper, and that's where Fitzpatrick comes in. the MVP of the Steelers, voted by his teammates. So we run the third thing, we run the ball, we score if we get the ball first, and Matt Canada needs to open up the offense a little bit more and not worry about it. Let Kenny be Kenny. And this is a funny thing here. I don't know what the over and under is, but does Dante Johnson get a touchdown? I do not know. But I'm going to give it to him because if Dante would have had at least 5 or 6 touchdowns this year, he probably would have went to the Pro Bowl. He probably would have. So Dante, the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show, will say, I know you're listening because you like to watch the show, you will get a touchdown Sunday against the Cleveland Browns thrown to you by Kenny Pickett. Hey, and here's my score. 27-17 Pittsburgh. I'm not going to go 35 like Ben did. He always goes high. I understand that, but that's just not going to happen. 27. Could be the second highest scoring Steeler game of the season. The other one was Cincinnati. Dante came a long way. Yeah, he's come a long way. He needs a touchdown, Shane. And I'm going to say he's going to get a touchdown. Like I said, I'm on FanDuel now. I don't know what it is, to bet, but Shane says 21-16 Pittsburgh. And then when Pittsburgh beats Cleveland and all the dominoes have fell, Joe Flacco beats the Dolphins. Josh Allen throws for 450 yards against the Patriots. Our Pittsburgh Steelers will be in the playoffs, and yours truly will still be doing this show. I just want to let everybody know this show will not end after. This show is going to see the whole season. Dante was on Bubba's shit list. Yeah, I know he was. This show, it'll go once. It could go one time a week on Wednesdays. But this show, the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show, will go on throughout the whole season, into the playoffs, into the Super Bowl. But we are still going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to talk about positions that the Steelers need to draft and some college prospects. I want to get some people on so we can talk about the college draft and these positions and stuff. And I know Shane's helping me out with some people. And Freight Train says if Canada put up some fat number in this game, but we don't make the playoffs, does he come back to finish his contract next year? No, he'll be gone. I hope. But you know what, Freight Train, if he isn't gone, our podcasts are going to get better and bigger because I'll be bitching about it, and so were you guys on the Steelers Realm podcast because everybody hates Matt Canada, and he probably, if he gets us into the playoffs, might have saved his job. I mean, that's the double-ended sword, brother. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. If he gets us into the playoffs, and we get into the playoffs and something happens, by the grace of God, we go into the playoffs and we make some noise and we upset people because this season here, I mean, just with the 2-6 record, this season reminds me of Chuck Noll's 1988 season when I was a senior and I graduated in 1989, which was a long time ago, which was last week. When we got beat by Cleveland 52-0 and we lost to Cincinnati 49-0. And then on the back of Merrill Hodge and Gary Anderson, we beat the Oilers down in Houston, and then we went to Denver. We were very, very close. This team reminds me of that. You know what I mean? They just don't break. I mean, they had those 2 shitty games against Buffalo and Philly, but we were in every single game after that. Every loss. And the last 2 losses was by 5 points. Cincinnati in the last Baltimore game. 5 points difference. That's it. And then my 12-5 record would have been damn close. But they didn't do that when they went 2-6. But no, I don't think he'll be back if they lose. And if they lose, I'll be pissed because I hate losing to Cleveland too. I hate losing anyway. But also too with a chance to. And honestly, if Tomlin gets into the playoffs, he will be coach of the year. There's not like, hey, that getting into the playoffs is something else. Winning a playoff game is something else. But if Mike Tomlin and our Pittsburgh Steelers get into the playoffs, Mike Tomlin will be your NFL coach of the year because going 2-6 with a rookie quarterback, the travesty of Dwayne Haskins and doing that. That's what I said in the start of all this podcasting show this year, was he had to unify everybody due to the tragedy of Dwayne Haskins, and he probably did that. And everybody loves him, and that's just the way it is. I don't dislike him. I just hate losing playoff games. That's all. And he's got to be more of a rah-rah kind of guy. That's my opinion. And hi, Lisa, how you doing? That's just my opinion. But he's going into the Hall of Fame, and he's never going to get fired. So, but also too, he has to have people that he could delegate authority over that actually could do something. Matt Canada is not one. And probably the way the defense has been playing, Terrell Austin will probably stay too, I'm guessing. And there won't be any coaching discrepancies in the offseason. Maybe special teams, Bazooka Joe, goes by as a gumball factory and starts chomping on his bit, because our special teams is really, really bad. So, but also too, hey, like I said, 27-17, Pittsburgh over Cleveland. That's right, Lisa. We bleed black and gold, and we have a chance. There's always a chance. I remember back in the days when I was trying to get girls to date me, there was always a chance. And the Steelers beating Cleveland, and then we're in, baby. We're in. We're in the playoffs. Hey, Phil, how you doing, brother? Happy New Year to you. We are in the playoffs. And I'm not, we'll just take that as we come. Let's just beat Cleveland. Let the chips fall where they may, with the Jets beating the Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills crushing the Patriots, and we're in. By 4 o'clock, 4:05, we will know that the Pittsburgh Steelers will be 9-8, going into the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. And this show, like I said, is going on. There's no off season for the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show. I will make it entertaining. I will do what I need to do. And this is one of the shows on the whole format of the Triple B Experience. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the Triple B Experience, you guys are missing out. And I appreciate it. It's on Facebook and it's on all the social medias. But I tell you right now, Steelers 21-13, Lisa says. This is the only Steeler podcast that has fan interaction like this anywhere. I'll put this podcast against anybody's, even if they have big names. Hit the Notion button. Hit the notification button. Hit the Notion button. I went to Marion Center. I can't read. Thanks, Shane. That's right. Hit the notification. Get ready. Pittsburgh 27-17 over Cleveland. I appreciate everybody for tuning in on a Friday night. And I'll be back Wednesday with a review of the Steelers beating the shit out of Cleveland and going to the playoffs. You heard it here first, baby. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And if you want to catch this show again, if you just popped on, go to YouTube and you can watch it. I have over 604. That's right. 604 people have subscribed to the Triple B Experience. Thanks to Shane, that got us over 600. And then last night we did our year-round awards where we do talk about pulp culture, the biggest sport moment of the year, stuff like that. So if you're into that, please tune in with myself, Cable, and Mav. We do it every year. It was the second annual, and we just try to be as entertaining as we can be. And also, like I said before I leave, I'm looking to get some guests lined up to do one-on-ones or 3 one-on-one interviews. And maybe with the other guys, if their schedule allows, they'll be on board too. But we do the Triple B Experience interviews. We do unscripted, and we do the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty, where I'm talking to you guys about Steeler football. I'm done promoting. I promote every day, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, this podcast show at the Steelers, then nobody does it like I do it. And I'm just trying to get better every time. And like I said, hopefully the Steelers win by 4 o'clock and we're in. So everybody, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys. I love everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it with the bottom of my heart. You guys don't know how hard it is to do this and be prepared and get the word out and keep doing this. And I keep doing this because, A, I love doing this. And I love talking about the Steelers, and I love talking about stuff I love to talk about. That's why I did a podcast channel, the Triple B Experience. Okay, everybody, good night. Love you. Pittsburgh beating Cleveland. Here we go, Steelers. Good night and a better tomorrow. And I'll see you. I'm hitting a button, and I am out of here.